We do have some artifacts represented in our presidential section that are pretty unique. We have a White House telephone that was from the Bush 41 White House, and these are the push button types. So this was from like the 1980s. That's a White House telephone. And next to that, we have a baseball bat that's signed by George Bush, who was Bush 41. He was also a baseball player, a college baseball player. He played in the College World Series with his team at Yale. So he was a pretty good ball player, and the picture we have of him shows him with Babe Ruth at the time, since George was captain of his college baseball team. We have some framed documents on the bottom side, too, of the display area, and one has to do with Ted Yeager, the noted pilot, and Gerald Ford. So that's a signed piece that's very, very valuable. And then we have an impeachment ticket from the impeachment trial of President Johnson, Andrew Johnson. So we have his signature there with an impeachment trial ticket. And then we have a signed document from a soldier in World War I that's signed by Calvin Coolidge. So we have those documents that are represented in our presidential section. We also have a really good number of relics related to Abraham Lincoln, and the pieces from one is from the White House, and one is from Ford's Theater, and we think these are one-of-a-kind relics that are framed up and distributed and portrayed in our museum. This is dedicated to one of John F. Kennedy's most famous moments, and this would be the Cuban Missile Crisis of 1962. So this is when we went head-to-head, face-to-face during the Cold War with the Russians over delivering nuclear materials to nuclear missiles to Cuba. And for 13 days, the world was on edge because we didn't know if there would be a nuclear war because of this. So what we have is a briefcase that was owned by one of the people that was attached to Adlai Stevenson, our representative to the UN. And his name is Chauncey Parker. He owned this briefcase, and he carried that with him when they were having the UN meetings, United Nations meetings, and were confronting the Russians over the Cuban Missile Crisis.